think you know how the world really works: presidents, parliaments, corporations. But what if all of that is just a facade, a smokescreen, hiding the real puppet masters? What if I told you that throughout history, there have been groups of people secretly making decisions that changed the fates of millions? Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on 30 of the most powerful and enigmatic secret societies that genuinely ruled the world. Get ready, because after watching this video, your view of history might change forever. And the central question we will try to answer is, are they still pulling our strings right now? But before we begin our journey into the world of shadows, let's nail down exactly what a secret society is. At its core, it's an organization that conceals its activities, goals, and membership from the outside world. Their reasons for existing vary: protecting forbidden knowledge, achieving political power, financial enrichment, or simply uniting the global elite. Their power lies entirely in their secrecy. They operate through their members, who are strategically embedded in the highest echelons of government, business, and science. Of course, many stories circulating about them are just myths and fabrications. But, as the saying goes, where there's smoke, there's usually fire. Our task today is to separate the wheat from the chaff and examine the genuine influence these mysterious orders and clubs have had. Let's start, naturally, with the most famous group of all, the Bavarian Illuminati. Founded by Adam Weishaupt in 1776, they officially existed for only 10 years. Their stated aim was to fight superstition, government overreach, and the oppressive influence of the church. However, conspiracy theorists are convinced the order didn't vanish. It merely went deeper underground. Many believe it was the Illuminati who orchestrated the French Revolution, and they continue to pursue the establishment of a new world order, a single global government, free from religion and national borders. The symbol of the all-seeing eye found on the dollar bill is widely considered to be their signature mark. Next up are the Freemasons, commonly known simply as Masons. It is one of the world's oldest and most pervasive fraternal organizations. Their history traces its roots back to the medieval stonemasons guilds. Masons are famous for their distinct rituals, their symbolic tools, such as the square and compass, and their system of degrees. Officially, their focus is on moral self-improvement and charitable endeavours. Unofficially, however, they are often accused of maintaining a vast global network of influence, secretly controlling politics and finance worldwide. The fact that many US founding fathers, including George Washington, were Masons only adds fuel to the fire regarding theories of their hidden power and influence. Let's now take a journey back to the age of the Crusades, focusing on the Knights Templar. Their official title was the Poor Knights of Christ and the Temple of Solomon. This military monastic order became one of the wealthiest and most powerful institutions in medieval Europe. They essentially pioneered the world's first rudimentary banking system, issuing loans to monarchs and nobles alike. Ultimately, their vast wealth and immense influence were their downfall. In 1307, King Philip IV of France, who owed the order massive sums, levelled charges of heresy and devil worship against the Templars. The order was subsequently crushed. However, legend suggests that the surviving knights managed to preserve their treasures and esoteric knowledge, forming the basis of new secret societies. The Order of Assassins, the Nizaris, known by their enemies as the Hashishin, were a shadowy, mysterious sect that struck fear into the hearts of rulers throughout the 11th to 13th centuries in the Middle East. Their leader, famously known as the Old Man of the Mountain, dispatched his loyal, devoted warriors to carry out precise political assassinations. The assassins were masters of disguise and espionage. Their methods proved so chillingly effective that their very name became the English word for a contract killer. Operating primarily from their formidable, virtually impenetrable fortress of Alamut, they remained a genuine political power in the region for centuries, a force that even the most mighty sultans had to reckon with. Let's travel back to Renaissance Europe, to the time of the Order of the Rosicrucians. This was a mysterious brotherhood whose existence was first announced in the early 17th century through the publication of a series of manifestos. The Rosicrucians claimed possession of esoteric knowledge, inherited directly from ancient sages. They devoted themselves to alchemy, mysticism, and the search for the universal reformation of mankind. Many historians, however, believe the order never truly existed, suggesting it was merely an elaborate intellectual hoax or literary fabrication. Nevertheless, the concepts of Rosicrucianism profoundly influenced Freemasonry and other esoteric currents, ultimately shaping entire layers of Western mystical thought. Let's now shift our focus to the New World and the hallowed halls of one of America's most prestigious universities, Skull and Bones. This is the secret society at Yale University, founded in 1832. Each year, only 15 seniors are initiated, joining the ranks of a powerful elite. Its members have included US presidents, such as both George H.W. and George W. Bush, as well as William Howard Taft, Supreme Court justices, senators, and the CEOs of major corporations. It is widely believed that these bonesmen assist one another throughout their lives, forming an invisible network that influences both American and global politics. Their rituals and objectives remain closely guarded secrets. But what about modern secret societies? Take, for example, the Bilderberg Group. It's not some ancient order, but rather an annual private conference founded in 1954. The attendees, typically between 120 and 150 of the world's most influential people, include heads of state, bankers, CEOs of massive corporations, and media moguls. Meetings are held behind strictly closed doors, and the press is not allowed entry. Officially, it's defined as a forum for the informal discussion of global problems. However, conspiracy theorists are convinced that this is where key decisions about global politics and economics are actually made, asserting that the group itself functions as a shadowy world government. We travel now to Germany in the early 20th century. Enter the Thule Society. This Munich-based occult group served as the direct ideological precursor to the Nazi Party. Its members were obsessed with notions of Aryan racial supremacy and the quest for a mythical northern homeland, variously named Thule or Hyperborea. They practiced mystical rituals and claimed they could achieve contact with higher intelligences. Many foundational figures of the future Third Reich, including Rudolf Hess and Alfred Rosenberg, were prominent members of this society. Crucially, Thule provided the key ideological framework and the initial financial base for Hitler's nascent political movement, thereby exerting an appalling influence on the course of world history. The Priory of Sion. This organization shot to global fame thanks to Dan Brown's novel, The Da Vinci Code. Legend holds that the Priory was founded in 1099, with its primary mission being the protection of the descendants, or bloodline, of Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene. It allegedly counted figures like Leonardo da Vinci, Isaac Newton, and Victor Hugo among its grandmasters. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Well, that's because it is. Historians have definitively proven that the Priory of Sion is a grand fabrication, a massive hoax created in the mid-20th century by a Frenchman named Pierre Plantard. Nevertheless, this entire story illustrates the enduring power and sheer appeal of the idea of an ancient secret society, one dedicated to guarding humanity's greatest secret. The Order of Eastern Templars, or Ordo Templi Orientis, the OTO, founded in the early 20th century, this order gained widespread notoriety thanks to its most famous leader, Aleister Crowley. Crowley, who famously proclaimed himself the Great Beast 666, developed the OTO's system of magical rituals and the philosophical framework of Thelema, based on the principal law, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. The order practiced various esoteric and mystical rites, including controversial forms of sexual magic, all dedicated to achieving the spiritual liberation of the individual. Despite its often scandalous reputation, Crowley's teachings and the tenets of the OTO have had a profound and lasting influence on Western counterculture, music, and contemporary occult practices. 19th century Italy saw the rise of the Carbonari. Their name translates literally to charcoal burners. They were a network of secret revolutionary societies dedicated to fighting Austrian rule and achieving Italian unification. Organising conspiracies and armed uprisings, their structure mirrored that of the Freemasons, complete with secretive rituals and solemn oaths. The Carbonari played a critical role in the Risorgimento, the movement for national unity. Although many of their insurrections were crushed, their persistent activity ultimately paved the way for the creation of a unified Italian state. They stand as a powerful example of how a secret society can become the driving force behind a national liberation struggle. The American Civil War. Enter the Knights of the Golden Circle. This was a secret society operating on behalf of the Confederacy. Their radical objective was the establishment of a new empire of slave states, the so-called Golden Circle, which would encompass the southern United States, Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean islands. The Knights engaged in espionage, sabotage, and even attempted to organize armed uprisings deep within the northern states. Rumors persist that the organization was directly involved in the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. Furthermore, treasure hunters across the American South continue their search for the society's vast, legendary cache of wealth, which has never been recovered. The early 20th century, the Balkans, the Black Hand, officially known as Unity or Death. This was a secret Serbian nationalist organization whose primary goal was to unify all South Slavs into a single state. Members of the Black Hand held high-ranking positions within the Serbian army and government. It was this organization that planned and executed the assassination of Austrian Archduke Franz Ferdinand in Sarajevo in 1914. This single event became the formal catalyst for the beginning of the First World War, an event that forever redrew the map of Europe and the world. The American Revolution, the Sons of Liberty. This secret organization fought to protect the rights of American colonists and oppose the taxation policies imposed by the British Crown. Their rallying cry was, "No taxation without representation." The Sons of Liberty organised protests, led widespread boycotts of British goods, and orchestrated acts of civil disobedience. Their most famous action was the Boston Tea Party of 1773, a pivotal event that served as a major catalyst for the American Revolutionary War. This stands as a prime example of a secret society that emerged directly from popular protest and ultimately achieved the founding of a new nation. Italy. During the latter half of the 20th century, the Masonic Lodge, known as Propaganda Due, or simply P2. It was an illicit, clandestine organization operating beneath the surface of Italian Freemasonry. Its powerful leader, Licio Gelli, effectively engineered a state within a state. The lodge's membership roster included key figures, high-ranking politicians, military officers, judges, journalists, and powerful businessmen. P2 was heavily implicated in numerous affairs, including organising terrorist attacks, massive corruption schemes, and even plotting a coup d'état. When their secret membership lists were finally released to the public in 1981, Italy was rocked by a monumental political scandal. This remains a compelling example of how a secretive organisation can systematically corrupt and dismantle democratic institutions from the inside. The Order of Nine Angles. This organisation is widely regarded as one of the most notorious and sinister modern satanic groups. Based in the United Kingdom, the ONA champions a radically extremist path, actively advocating for the destruction of contemporary Western civilization. Its dark ideology is a volatile fusion of Satanism, neo-Nazism, and social Darwinism. The Order openly endorses human sacrifice and acts of terrorism as necessary steps to hasten the arrival of a so-called dark era. Due to its extreme doctrines and repeated incitement to violence, the activities of this group pose a serious global concern for law enforcement agencies worldwide. Late 19th century Britain, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. This order became a true crucible, synthesizing numerous esoteric traditions, Kabbalah, tarot, astrology, and alchemy. It exerted an immense influence on Western occultism throughout the entire 20th century. Its ranks included such iconic figures as the poet William Butler Yeats and the already mentioned Aleister Crowley, who would later go on to develop his own unique system of teaching. The Golden Dawn devised an intricate system of rituals and initiations, many elements of which are still used by esoteric practitioners to this very day. Every July, deep within the forests of Northern California, the world's most influential men assemble at a secretive location known as the Bohemian Grove. This exclusive, all-male club counts presidents, high-ranking government officials, major bankers, and powerful media magnates among its members. Officially, it's marketed as a relaxation retreat, a place where the global elite can unwind and revert to boyhood. However, conspiracy theorists allege that this informal environment is precisely where critical political and major business deals are secretly brokered. The annual event includes a bizarre ritual called the cremation of care, in which an effigy is burned. This ceremony consistently sparks controversy and raises widespread suspicion of paganistic practices. The Council on Foreign Relations, founded in 1921, this American think tank is frequently cited as a key instrument of the shadow government. Its membership includes leading figures from the worlds of politics, business, and academia. The Council publishes the influential magazine Foreign Affairs and prepares analytical reports that often shape US foreign policy. Critics assert that the Council serves as a platform where globalist elites coordinate their plans for global governance, pushing globalization at the expense of national interests. The Trilateral Commission. Founded in 1973 by David Rockefeller, this organization brings together representatives from North America, Western Europe, and Asia, specifically Japan. Its stated goal is to promote closer cooperation between these three regions. While this sounds harmless, critics often view the Commission as another powerful instrument for establishing a new world order. They argue that this elite group is dedicated to creating supranational structures designed to manage global economics and politics, effectively bypassing democratic processes entirely. Now for a quick look at ufology. Majestic 12. According to popular conspiracy theories, Majestic 12 was a top-secret group of scientists, military leaders, and government officials formed by President Truman in 1947 to investigate the alleged UFO crash in Roswell. Majestic 12's primary mission was to study recovered extraterrestrial technology and conceal the truth about alien contact from the public. The existence of this group has never been proven, and many skeptics consider the alleged documents surrounding it to be elaborate hoaxes. However, for ufologists, Majestic 12 remains the quintessential symbol of a deep-seated government conspiracy to cover up the extraterrestrial presence on Earth. The Black Nobility. This is the term used to describe powerful aristocratic families in Europe, primarily Italian ones, who are alleged to have secretly ruled the world for centuries. Their power is supposedly rooted in the control of global finance, specifically exerted through the Vatican and various international banking institutions. Conspiracy theorists contend that the Black Nobility is directly responsible for instigating numerous wars, revolutions, and economic crises, manipulating humanity purely for their own gain. They are viewed as the ultimate puppet masters, holding influence even above well-known groups like the Bilderberg Group and the Trilateral Commission. The Hellfire Club. Several Hellfire clubs operated across Britain and Ireland during the 18th century. The most notorious among them was the society founded by Sir Francis Dashwood. These were exclusive societies for the social elite, primarily gathering for decadent, drunken orgies and mock satanic rituals. While the stated goal was merely entertainment and shocking the public, the membership included extremely influential political figures. This sparked widespread rumours that under the cloak of hedonism, members were actually forging powerful political alliances and hatching serious conspiracies. Ultimately, the Hellfire Club cemented its legacy as a powerful symbol of the secret vices and rampant hypocrisy endemic to the ruling class. The Fenian Brotherhood was an Irish revolutionary organisation established in the mid-19th century. Its primary objective was to establish an independent Irish republic through armed uprising against British rule. Operating as a clandestine society, the Fenians relied on oaths and established secret cells across Ireland, Britain, and the United States. They were responsible for organising several uprisings and even famously launched armed raids into Canadian territory, operating out of the US. While their immediate attempts were ultimately unsuccessful, the actions of the Fenians laid critical groundwork for the future Irish independence movement, directly influencing the eventual formation of the Irish Republican Army. Synarchy is a hypothetical form of government where a nation is secretly run by an elite society, often comprised of leading figures in industry, finance and science. The term gained popularity in France during the 1930s. Conspiracy theorists allege the existence of a secret synarchist pact. Their purported goal was the overthrow of republics and the establishment of authoritarian, technocratic rule. The concept of synarchy has been invoked to explain numerous political events, ranging from the collapse of France in 1940 to the process of European integration itself. The Vril Society, yet another mystical organisation associated with Nazi Germany. Legend holds that it was a secret society of female mediums who supposedly established contact with an extraterrestrial civilization dwelling beneath the earth. From these beings, they allegedly received knowledge about the mysterious Vril energy, a force that could grant the Third Reich an ultimate weapon, and even the ability to construct flying saucers. While most historians dismiss the Vril Society as pure fabrication, the story remains an integral part of the esoteric Nazi mythos. The Order of the Dragon was a monarchical chivalric society founded in the 15th century by Sigismund, the Holy Roman Emperor. Its primary objective was the defense of Christendom against the rising power of the Ottoman Empire. Perhaps its most infamous member was Vlad II Dracul, the father of Vlad the Impaler, the very man who would later inspire the legend of Count Dracula. The order brought together the elite of Central and Eastern Europe. Membership signified entry into an exclusive circle of powerful defenders of the faith, granting them immense political and military clout throughout the entire region. The Cathars were a profound religious movement that flourished across southern France during the 12th and 13th centuries. The Catholic Church considered them dangerous heretics. The Cathars maintained their own distinct ecclesiastical hierarchy, rituals, and sacred texts. They adhered to a dualistic faith, believing the material world was created by an evil deity and therefore sought the complete liberation of the spirit. Due to intense persecution by the Church, the Cathars were forced underground, operating as a secret society while concealing their beliefs and leaders. Ultimately, a brutal crusade was launched against them. This campaign virtually annihilated the movement, solidifying the Cathars' place in history as a powerful symbol of martyrdom and spiritual resistance. Now let's turn our attention to the modern age, the era of the internet. Cicada 3321 is the name of a mysterious organisation that posted incredibly complex puzzles online between 2012 and 2014. Their stated goal was to recruit highly intelligent individuals. The riddles required deep knowledge of cryptography, mathematics and literature, and often forced participants to travel physically into the real world to find clues. To this day, no one knows who was truly behind Cicada, be it an intelligence agency, a powerful hacker group, or some shadowy corporation. It stands as the perfect example of a modern secret society that leverages digital technology for global recruitment. And finally, let's discuss the Jesuit Order. Formerly known as the Society of Jesus, this Catholic monastic order was founded in 1534. The Jesuits are renowned for their rigorous discipline, unwavering loyalty to the Pope, and exceptionally high standard of education. For centuries, they have been accused of operating as a secret society within the Church, employing espionage, political intrigue, and even assassination to achieve their aims. They were famously dubbed the Pope's Secret Army. Their immense influence over the politics of various nations generated intense fear and suspicion, which ultimately led to their expulsion from dozens of countries worldwide. So we've covered 30 secret societies that have, in one way or another, shaped history. We went from ancient knightly orders and mystical brotherhoods to modern elite clubs and internet mysteries. Which parts were fact and which were simply compelling legend? We'll let you decide, but one thing is certain. The history we read in textbooks is often just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface, there have always been, and always will be, hidden currents, secret alliances, and groups striving for power and knowledge inaccessible to the majority. The world is far more complex than it seems at first glance. Thank you for watching this video all the way through. If you enjoyed diving into the world of secrets and conspiracies, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our future investigations. And of course, ring that notification bell. Now here is a question for you. Which secret society do you think has been the most influential in history? Or maybe we missed mentioning a key organisation. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We always enjoy reading and discussing them. Until next time.